Then, as we're talking about conference cannibalism, Jack, that's certainly been happening in the American. Tulane Green Wave, they just had a bad loss to UTSA. They go on the road at Memphis. And as you said, Friday games are a nightmare for trap games, it seems, because it didn't matter that Memphis was at home. I don't know what it is about the Friday slate, but Tulane went on the road 38-32, played a really great game, and Tulane is rolling. And they just had that loss to UTSA, so then you worry about, like the ACC championship. Like the champion is going to be a two-loss team at best, I would think. I mean, maybe Navy only has one loss, but they like in a conference, but they have 2 losses overall. So it's like that could be iffy as well, where you start to be like, well, would they be a 3-loss champion in the American? Would they beat out, a Sun Belt team like James Madison only has 1 loss? So it's just Memphis was their best hope to really have that like, oh yeah, we're going to get this. Because then you worry about their team falling behind JMU. You don't even think about ACC, where it's just like, oh, like we could also be in shambles. But Memphis, you had to get this one, I think. And both of their losses felt like pretty preventable. Now, they did have games like Arkansas and South Florida that maybe they should have lost. So maybe they're lucky to be at the 8-2 situation that they are. But you can't lose against UAB with an interim coach. And then you can't lose at home to Tulane that just had a bad outing. But Tulane is pretty good. They're sneaky good, too. And this might be their last year with their coach. There's a lot of rumors that he's going to leave. But Tulane, Jack, in a Friday trap game, ends up going on the road and takes out Memphis.
Yeah, very impressive win to win on the road. Again, one of these upsets. But I do think Memphis probably had now they definitely don't have the best chance, but I think USF now has the best chance for an American team. But we'll see. I mean, Navy still only has, they've lost back-to-back against North Texas and now Notre Dame. But that's going to be a huge game, Navy versus USF. We'll have to see. That's going to have huge implications. I don't see USF losing that because they're so hot. Even that, this is just crazy when you think about these. American would be a shoo-in if they just didn't lose to UAB, Memphis, and then Tulane didn't lose to UTSA. These winnable games. That's the one thing that's stopping this conference from really to being a power conference, because I think the American is that good this year. I think there's so many great teams. You could say North Texas is also there. We're going to have them ranked probably just because they only have one USF team and they just put points on everyone. And Mestamaker's a really good quarterback, and they just blew out Navy, just like Notre Dame just did, and they're still only have 2 losses. But yeah, great win for Tulane. That's really put their season back on track. They still only have 1 in-conference loss, so that one loss to Ole Miss was really not. It was okay. You're gonna have losses like that, like USF to Miami. You're gonna have outside conference losses like that. So, yeah, I still think USF probably has the best chance, but it looks like American is just, really, really just great this year. And yeah, I think they could. I would love if they got 2, but I think it looks like it is going to be James Madison. If you get 2 group of 5 teams in there, it's probably going to be James Madison and USF. Right. But if Tulane made it, I think this team is talented enough to really hang with the best of them. I think going on the road at Ole Miss is just such a. I know we both picked Tulane to win that game just because they were so shaky against Arkansas and Kentucky. But I don't think that. Ole Miss. Come on, you got to pick the upset pick there because I don't know. We just like the American a lot just because it's a. I know this conference cannibalizes a lot. Like we used to get like the Big 12, a lot of teams leave, like Houston and Cincinnati. But this conference is still so good. There's a lot of bad teams.
SMU.
Yeah, there's still a lot of bad teams in this, like Charlotte and Tulsa and like FAU. Not a lot of great teams towards the bottom. But when you look at the top 4, North Texas, Navy, USF, Memphis, Tulane, like those top 5 are just so great. And you could really say it's probably better than the ACC this year. And you could probably put the best of the best. And I know USF lost that bad to Miami, but I think here's the question do you think USF could beat Miami now? I think it'd be closer.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The issue is that they went at Miami.
Right.
That's a tough place to play. And also, Miami going into that one was so hot, and the games that they won were great, and they had the Notre Dame win. And then they watched like all the tape, like they saw everything USF did going into that one. So I think it would be closer. And also, if you watch that game, there were certain penalties and stuff that really
Right.
killed USF's
Mhm.
momentum, where you said the final score maybe was indicative of the game. But I do think it would be closer. It's just it kind of looks bad for USF because at the time it was like, hey, we got a team that was in contention.
Right.
They're the ones who blow us out. That's not
Yep.
bad. But then all of a sudden they're falling down so far, and then they won't even be in their conference championship game where it's like you got blown out by them. It's like, well, that's kind of unfortunate. I think it would be closer. I think Miami still wins the game, but I think USF is still great. I mean, USF probably has the best out of conference win in the AAC, I'd probably say, because I mean they won
Florida.
in the
Yeah.
swamp at Florida. A really tough thing to do. And I mean, you look at Georgia, Jack. Georgia barely gutted out that one against Florida, right? And that's at a neutral site, I believe. So they didn't win in the swamp.
And then
So
Texas
great win by USF there. And Texas.
got blown out by Florida at home as well. Yeah. So.
Oh, right. I don't know if you say blown out. Yeah, I mean, the swamp is a really tough place to play, regardless of Florida's record, I feel like. And I just remember a few years ago,
Yeah, that game really wasn't that close. I know the score is closer than it kind of deceived you, but that Texas Florida game wasn't really close. So very impressive for USF get that one out. But
right.
Yeah, I still think I don't know if it's a neutral site. I think USF has a better chance. That loss against Memphis really doesn't look that great, especially with this loss against Tulane. But yeah, I would. Yeah, I think if you're gonna get two provides, it's probably best in USF. But I would love to see the Green Wave make a run at that. So
right. I know, because I know Alex, the head coach for USF, is staying, but it's likely that Tulane's coach, it might be his last year. I mean, there's a lot of high-profile jobs that are going to throw a lot of money his way. So you'd think maybe it's their last run at this thing.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I mean, teams like Memphis, like that's the thing in the American, like they do have great teams, but as you said, like as you get past like the first like 6 or something like that, like the first 6 or 7 teams are pretty good, but you start to get closer to the bottom and it's not great. And like you said, Charlotte, I mean Tulsa barely got to win out against an Oklahoma State team, and like you normally say, oh, you won a game against a Power 4 team. It's like Oklahoma State is like so bad. I wouldn't mind Oklahoma State getting back in the same conference with Oklahoma so we can get that Bedlam matchup back. But now you start to think, well, what's the point? Because Oklahoma State is just going to lose by 50, but at least Oregon is keeping that up with Oregon State. Anyways, that's kind of off track. But yeah.
No, I completely agree. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, the group of 5 is really going to be interesting, and the continuous cannibalism of this conference, because it was, I guess Memphis is going to be the team. They're a 1-loss team, only lost to UAB. Great win against USF, but then they dropped this one. I think they could still certainly be in contention for it, but I think USF definitely has the leg up on them. They have a better win, and despite Memphis having the head-to-head, now Memphis has 2 conference losses. That's what's great about USF. They got that loss out of conference to Miami, which is nothing to sneeze at. But as we talk about conference cannibalism and Friday night trap games, very unfortunate for Memphis as they get caught at home against Tulane.
Like Tulane. I mean,
then as
Tulane beat Duke, who was like the best chance the ACC right now. So that win's been looking better and better if they actually make it to that championship. So yeah.
Right.